Hey, yo, Chris, where you at? I'm in town.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Chris Hovers. I know, I know. It's been more than a minute. I am back from my hiatus, whatever you want to call it, because I definitely been on a hiatus. I don't even know where to start right now. That's how crazy this is. But welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And man, I feel like it's so much to catch up on, but I don't want to waste time. I don't want to waste too much time. Um Today's episode was inspired by a lack of motivation, believe it or not. And I haven't been that motivated to do the podcast. I'm not going to lie. I've had a lot I've had a lot of other things going on recently. A lot of stuff pertaining to music, a lot of stuff pertaining to self-care, you know. Since I was last here, I actually went to Mexico for my birthday. I went to Playa del Carmen, which I actually did. No, my last episode, yeah, my last episode, I was in Playa del Carmen for my birthday. I actually went back recently for a solo trip, and it was very peaceful, very spiritual. Well worth it. Well worth it for sure. Um, I got on here to talk today, not just to tell y'all what I've been on and catch y'all up and stuff like that. I think I can do that another time, or maybe even just after this conversation. But it's been hard for me to come back on here. I don't know why. But you don't always feel like doing the things you should be doing. My podcast is one of those things, out of all the creative passions I have and creative pursuits of mine, that has yielded the most results as far as the most reactions, the most views. And ironically, I never really, it's funny. Of course, we're all doing content and being creative to get views, to be discovered, whatever the case may be. But there's somewhat this double-edged sword to pursuing this. And it kind of goes back to playing the game for the love of the game and not just for the points. But lately I've been feeling like, I don't just want to do something just for views or just because it's going to get content, or I say get content, just because it's going to get views. And, I want to do it when I need to do it or when I feel the need to do it. And that was really the original purpose of this podcast. It was really for me to just talk and decompress after work and, after a long day, and just really capturing my train of thought, my stream of consciousness. But okay, sorry, I just had to check my mic levels. But speaking to only doing this when I feel like doing it, I realized that, I'm not going to always feel like doing everything. I'm not going to always feel like making music. I'm not going to always feel like making beats, editing content, sitting down doing the podcast. Sometimes I'll just be tired and I just want to lay down, watch anime, eat some good food, and that's okay. But there are some nights like tonight, really like yesterday night, because I was supposed to do this yesterday, um, last night. Yesterday night. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say yesterday night. That sounded, yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. But to get to the point, man, the question I ask myself is, can you do something when you really don't feel like doing it? And the thing that came to mind was a video. I forget who said it, whether it was Dave East or some rapper. It was somebody. And they said, whenever you can't stay motivated, stay consistent, because that discipline that you find in consistency beats motivation every time. You're not going to always feel motivated to do things, but the consistency and routine of putting in the rep is what actually still gets you the results that you desire. And speaking of those desires, I remember someone speaking on discipline. I can't remember the video, but it was a woman talking about how discipline is freedom. Like, oftentimes we associate discipline with pain and with discomfort, but in reality, it's the only way, it's the most efficient way to get to where you want to go, to that desired place or to get that desired outcome. So if you've been feeling like you haven't been consistent lately, or you've been feeling like you in a rut, or you've been procrastinating on something and you need to get up out of that, it's going to take one of these type of nights where you really just do it regardless of what's going on. Like, it's a lot going on right now, honestly. And today, I don't even want to share it, but like, things happened today that really threw my energy off from doing this. Like, I was supposed to do it since yesterday too. It's like both good and bad things happen. And it's interesting, but I had to find a way to muscle my way through it mentally to be here to deliver this to y'all. So I'm just here to say, like, if you're feeling stuck, get active, get some motion physically, literally, like, go get some motion. Because I actually played basketball today, and that was a form of me kind of getting out of that stagnation, and you know, that exercise helps me mentally start moving again. But you know, at the end of the day, it led back to me being here and actually doing the work. And that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about, man. Like, can you do the work when you really don't feel like it? Can you do the things you say you want to do? Not even just the things you don't want to do. Like, there are desires that you have that you want, a lifestyle that you want, and there are a list of tasks that you have to do in order to get there, but you don't feel like doing them. Yet you want that desired outcome. But it's like, do you really want it? And I've had to ask myself that. We've been having a lot of conversations at work around, like, just, you know, regular life stuff, like domestic living with your partner, stuff like that. Conversations that really put finances into perspective, lifestyle, you know, the timeline that we're all on as far as when we want to have things figured out or have certain things together, whether it's you buying your own house, having your own place, or, you know, getting that car that you want. We all have somewhat of a timeline of what we want to meet or what deadlines we want to meet, you know, for ourselves. And a few conversations at work really kind of put the fire back under me. Like, bro, if I really want to do this stuff, I got to do it. Like, I can't settle for the discomfort or complain about it. I'm actually blessed to be able to do the work. So why would I not take the opportunity to do the work? And I listen to a lot of my older friends, and they talk about how, like, bro, like, you on it right now. You got it because you're young, and just keep that energy that you have about it. Because when you get older, that energy is harder to maintain. And I'm starting to understand that. I'm starting to kind of see a little bit of that. Like, oh, if I don't light this fire, if I don't fan this fire, then it's going to go out. And we don't want that. So whatever it is, I don't care if you got like a little bit of a spark left. You have to fan your spark. You have to fan your flame as much as possible by any means, whether it's playing basketball, doing yoga, stretching, going for a run, whatever it is, find a way to get back into motion. And sometimes it just starts with an exercise. You know what I'm saying? Like doing your favorite exercise, playing your favorite sport. No matter what, you got to get out of that stagnation. You can't stay there forever. You can't stay there too long because you're wasting time. And that's what I felt like I was doing. This month of October is very, very hectic for me. I'm doing 2 events, a Halloween party with my girlfriend, and then an event with a friend of mine for her nonprofit, and I'm overseeing the music curation of it. So not only that, I'm in between mixing and mastering 4 different music artists right now. On top of that, I was just offered to score an opportunity to score someone's short film. All these great opportunities that align with who I am and what I want to be. And y'all have heard me talk about it in past conversations. Like, some of the things we want so bad, we got to remember that, yeah, I want to be a rapper. I want to be a content creator. But that comes with work. It's not easy. Nobody said it would be easy. But that doesn't mean that it's not worth it. So yeah, man, that's what I've been paying attention to lately. It's like I'm actually getting all the things that I actually prayed for, that I asked for, like want that I've been wanting to manifest. Like they're manifested. They're already manifested. They're here. They're coming. They're here, and like there's more on the way. So am I gonna shy away from all these opportunities and not take it, just because I feel a little uncomfortable when I could just get the job done through that discomfort, and then at the end of it look back and be like, dang, I grinded for this. I did it. You know what I'm saying? My coworker Ken, he told me, he was like, bro, like, because I told him it's funny because he's one of the artists whose music I'm working on. I was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, I've been overwhelmed lately. Like I got a lot going on, and I gotta get right. And he was like, yeah, bro, ain't nothing to it but to do that shit. Like real talk. That's why people be so cocky about when they've made it to a certain threshold of success or whatever, because they put that time and they put the grind in, like through all that discomfort. And it made sense. Not that I got to be cocky or anything, but it's like he was like, yeah, bro, that's the shit that make you great. Like grind through that shit. Like get that shit done. The work came to you for a reason. And that's what I want y'all to realize. Like you're feeling whatever resistance you're feeling because the work required from you is going to make you great in whatever aspect that is that you're working. So don't shy away from the work. Don't shy away from the discomfort. Move through it. Work through it. Because yeah, it might not be perfect. That's the thing. We have a sense of perfectionism in our minds that, oh, things got to be a certain way. Things got to be, and I'm guilty of this too. I'm not blaming anybody, but things have to be a specific way. The air has to feel a certain way, or the vibe got to be this or that. And that's cool. It's good when, for example, a music studio, when I'm making music and I got a studio session, sometimes I don't feel like I'm about to make a hit. Sometimes I'm just going in there to put the reps in. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what we going to make today, but we going to make something. I'm from around the way. We leaving here with something. You know what I'm saying? So, and you'll get something great. A recent song of mine called Peace of Mind came out like that. Like all my friends had went to Aruba and I had the house to myself. And for a moment I was like, yo, at first I was just relaxing, chilling, playing a game with my girl, and she left. And then it was just empty. Nobody was here. And so I'm like, bro, I gotta take this time to actually create something with this solitude, because a lot of things are birthed out of solitude, out of darkness, out of being alone. So, fact that I got the opportunity to have that space and time to think to myself, to be myself fully, and to really tap into what I could actually hear inside my mind creatively, I had to take on that opportunity. And all I knew was I need to get in the studio and make something. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I actually went to the studio with the intention to just make a beat. That's all I wanted to do, was make a nice beat on Instagram Live. And I ended up making one of the hardest songs I ever made that people actually like. They've been saying that it's dope. It's a new level. That's what I've been told. And so not even that I was in a uncomfortable place or energy at that point, but another example is the other night, some friends of mine, shout out to the Wright brothers, the real Wright brothers. We had a studio session and all of us were tired. Me, Sid, and the homie Tunji. Like we was all tired, putting our last bit of brain power all together to make something out of the studio session that we had, out of the time that we had. And it was late too. We all had, our own schedules to attend to the next day, or whatever the case may have been. We had all made a sacrifice that day. And at the end of the night, even through being tired, and I've had plenty of nights like this, you know what I'm saying? But these are the nights that remind you, through all of that, being tired and falling asleep through the session a little bit, dozing off here and there, we still came out with something great, something that's like, that has substance, So don't think that you got to be in the right energy to get the work done. Don't think that things have to be peachy clean or picture perfect. It don't. The work just got to get done. You just need to put the rep in. Even if you struggling to put that rep in, I don't even know what when you bench pressing, whatever, like the rep ain't gotta be perfect every time. But the goal is to get it perfect, to practice on making it perfect rep. But you can't do that if you thinking like, dang, I ain't finna do this cause like I don't feel comfortable and you gotta work through that. When you doing reps in the gym, you gotta work through it. You're not gonna get a perfect rep the first time. Like you gotta do it. You gotta keep doing it. You gotta get that repetition in. And that's what I'm realizing with everything, with the work. You start to feel stagnant when you stop being consistent, which leads back to the main point. When you can't stay motivated, which is based on emotions and feelings and all that, stay consistent because that's rooted in discipline. It's your boy, Chris Hovers. I'm going to lead this right here. Thank y'all. Welcome back. Peace. Blessings on to you.
Hey, yo, Chris, where you at? I'm in town.